This is the Juxtaposition podcast where two out of three of us can shit. This is Steve here. I'm going to host this week, but we still are visited by Dimitri. Say hi.
What's good?
And we got Randy.
Yes, sir.
So, apologize that this episode is coming out late, but I was dealing with some health shit. The lack of ability to shit being the reason. But I'm doing all right. I still haven't gone, but I'm not in as much pain and feeling as awful as I was earlier in the week, mostly because I'm just not eating. But hopefully this all works itself out. Unfortunately, not the first time I've dealt with this, so we'll get through it. But glad to be here and glad to be getting an episode out, even if it is late. So thank you all for waiting and being patient with us. Do we want to? I wanted to talk about what I've been geeking out on, but instead of just hearing me talk, I wanted to throw it out. So, Dimitri, is there anything you've been? What have you been doing lately?
Hey, I can absolutely talk about that. So for the past month, basically, I've been playing nothing but Genshin Impact. But y'all know that because I never stopped posting shit about it in Discord. So yeah, a new character dropped this week, and it's like a gacha game for those of you who don't know what Genshin is. So the game is completely free, but they come out with new characters that you can pay to get. Basically, it's like you buy a pack of raffle tickets essentially, and you redeem those, and then you have a chance to get the new character. So it's when the new character comes out, you're not guaranteed to get them. There's a 50-50 chance of you getting them or not. So luckily, I won the 50-50 this time, and I got both new characters that came out. So I've been really fucking hyped with that. So the game has been kind to me for once in its existence. So I've been playing the fuck out of it, streaming it, having an absolute blast. So yeah, that's what I've been geeking out on. Oh, also, I did hop back into Persona 3 Portable.
Nice.
I never did finish it, so finally going through that, and it's so good. The female protagonist is it's like a fresh game, basically. I'm having a ton of fun. But yeah, that's all I've been up to recently.
That's awesome. You said it was a gacha game. I know I don't really fuck with those. I haven't played one in a while. But I remember there was some controversy around it, and they're talking about outlawing it because it's essentially gambling for kids. But obviously this game still exists. I'm guessing that never came to fruition. But does it feel like that? Does it feel like you're gambling and have to buy these tokens or whatever it is to get your characters?
I mean, for someone with good self-control, it's not an issue because you don't need the new characters or anything to play the game. The content that they come out with is completely free. The only thing you do have to pay for is the characters that you want, and weapons as well. But you can have a great time without it. You don't need them to finish new content or anything. But for someone like me with poor self-control, I'm fucking broke. My wallet is crying because I cannot resist the new characters. So it definitely feels like gambling, but you don't have to at all. So
yeah,
I think that's all I'll say. You can gamble, but it's not required.
Gotcha. All right. I know
exactly. It's a gotcha. That's how they get you.
Damn it. Randy, I know you're basically just working. That's all you doing. Is there anything you're geeking out on? Anything you want to share?
Not really. I'm still kind of tuned in to the Nickelodeon All-Star Game. I'm not as excited about it as I was whenever it was first announced, but I'm still definitely gonna get it. I'm gonna play it with you guys, but I don't know. I've just been so swamped. I haven't really had a whole lot of time to game or anything like that I was doing again.
Yeah, I understand. Since you mentioned it, they did release that April, and who was the other one they officially released?
Cat Dog.
I'm sorry?
Cat Dog.
Yeah, they officially announced it, but they did. There was box art that was leaked accidentally. It was posted to Nintendo Switch that showed a lot of characters, but still, it seems like a small roster. And the fact that we're just about a month away and we don't have a full roster, we don't know if it's going to be cross-platform. There's still a lot of questions. It's definitely got me nervous. I'm still hyped, and I'm still going to fucking buy it. I'm just hesitant on where I'm gonna buy it because I want to play with you guys. Or we're gonna get it for the Switch, or we're gonna get it for PC. We don't really know yet. I'm hoping it's cross-platform. I'll just get it for PS5, so I have like more than one game to play on there. But we just don't fucking know, and that's got me nervous. I'm still hyped, but I'm getting a little more cautious about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may just go ahead and pick it up on Xbox since we all have next gen, so I think that may be the easiest and I guess smoothest experience since they're next gen consoles. I can't imagine that game being too like demanding of hardware, but since the Switch is so underpowered, it may run into some performance issues, I would think.
Yeah, I'm thinking next gen. I'm hoping I can get it for PS5, but I'll get it for Xbox if I need to. That I kind of handed that to the kids, so they won't look at my PS5 too much, so I can play that. But I'll steal it back from them and play with you guys. So the thing I want to talk about is I've been geeking out on Yakuza Like a Dragon. The game is fucking awesome. So I have a habit of getting excited about a game, buying it when it releases, playing it for 10 minutes, and then not fucking touching it. And that's exactly what I did with this game. And what I find frustrating is this isn't my original idea. I read it somewhere else, but it's a fucking good idea. If they track when you're playing a game, how many hours you have, they know what you're doing on your system. Why don't they have it where if you haven't played a game in, say, 60 days, it knows that and says, here's what's going on in the storyline, and here are the controls. Because I picked that shit up, and I'm like, I don't remember what the fuck's going on, and I just started over. But if they just had like a quick thing, you can even skip it if you don't need it. But you haven't played this in 60 days. Here's the storyline. Here's a little recap, and here are the basic controls.
So I'll tell
That'd
you
be too
what.
fucking hard.
I hate to interrupt you, but my latency is fucking me. So hold on just a second. My audio is going crazy right now. So like back in hold on. Can you guys hear that?
No, you sound good.
I've been hearing a little bit of like interference, like when you have like your phone too close to the mic kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm hoping that I just fixed it. I just adjusted something. So anyway, like on like the Game Boy Advance, the old Pokemon games that came out in like '04, they had exactly what you're describing. Every time that you would turn the game on, there would be like a little notepad that would like show you like your last like 3 things that you did, like if you like fought someone or caught something or like walked to a new town, and it had like the date on it. So like I would like forget about the fucking Game Boy for like 2 or 3 months, and then I'll open it up and it'll like show you like what you did before. So I agree that like literally every story game should have that.
Yeah, and you said that was for the Game Boy Advance?
Yeah.
So that came out in like 2003. So why the fuck isn't this like a common thing for story-driven games? It's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's especially, or it would be especially helpful for JRPGs since Pokemon is basically a JRPG, and then Yakuza, and then any of the other various ones that I play. Like, there's so many mechanics there, and JRPGs are obviously like heavily story based. So like between the mechanics and where the story left off, like that shit would be insanely helpful these days.
Yeah, someone fucking listen to this podcast and implement that. I would instantly support you if you do that to your games. Even if it's a game I would never play, I'd fucking buy it because I want that shit. So that game is awesome. I've talked about it before. I'm loving it again. And yeah, I'm gonna go back and replay some of the older ones while we wait for new ones to come out. another thing I've been geeking out on is the show Dave, which is in its second season now. Have either of you heard of that? It's on FXX.
Yeah, I watched the almost. God damn it.
Who?
Go ahead.
You're good. Go ahead.
I watched almost the whole first season. I think I was watching it as they were releasing the episodes, and probably like 7 or so episodes deep. I would assume. I for whatever reason stopped watching it, but it was really fucking good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it is good. I definitely recommend you pick it up. So for those that don't know, it's Lil Dicky, kind of a comedy rapper. He's actually really fucking talented, even though his whole persona is a dick joke essentially. But he's really good. You can tell the dude is creative as fuck. The show is unexpectedly, it's got heart, which you wouldn't think with when it's coming from a dude that's basically a dick joke, but it's really good, and it's essentially him deciding if he's going to pursue. The first season's essentially deciding if he's going to pursue the woman that he cares a lot about, he loves, or his rap career. And then, spoiler, second season is him continuing his rap career. So it's really good. It's definitely inspired by his story, but certainly dramatized and played up for comedic effect. It's fucking good. I recommend it. They're 30-minute episodes, so it's easy to jump in and watch it. But I'm just about done with the second season. It's on Plex. If you're interested, it's good. Fucking awesome.
Speaking of like TV shows and shit, and like just I guess media or whatever, I've also been geeking out on something along those lines recently this week. I've been rewatching like the major like book movies. So like I started out the week, like please don't roast me, but I started out watching the whole Twilight series. Bro, I don't care what you say. That shit is decent. Like
No.
oh god, that shit is decent.
No.
And today or the last 2 days I've watched the Divergent series. It's the first one was really good. The second two kind of were ass, or they're not ass, but they're definitely not as good as the first. And after I now finish those, I'm gonna start on the Maze Runner stuff. I've already seen all of them, but like I just get like a urge to go back to like the book movies every now and then. So it's always a fun time. But yeah, that's just another thing I'm geeking out on.
That kind of plays into my last one, which is I'm rereading Dune because the movie's coming out in a few months, and I read it a long time ago. Really enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it again, and I'm really hopeful that the movie is good. It's such a deep fucking. It's if you're not familiar with Dune, it's very deep sci-fi lore. It's got some parallels to Star Wars, but no one likes it when you make those comparisons. It's definitely unique and different, but it's the closest thing that has a deep, fleshed out universe and also is in outer space and sci-fi. So it's something that isn't easy to convert to a movie. It's been attempted several times and failed miserably. But the trailer dropped a few weeks ago for the movie, and I'm hoping they do a decent job. So I'm excited about that. But in any event, the books are good and definitely recommend it. Oh, I shouldn't say all the books are good. I read 3 of them before, and I'm gonna try to read. I picked up the first 6. I've heard that at a certain point it really drops off in quality. Haven't gotten there yet, but definitely recommend at least the first couple for sure. I'm guessing neither of you have read Dune.
Nope.
No, I've never heard of it until now.
You've never heard of Dune? Damn. Okay.
No, sir.
I am a nerd, and I'm well aware of it now. So do we want to talk about like Joe Rogan catching COVID and still being an asshole about it?
I
It'd be cool to pick up on it since we were talking about it for 45 minutes before we recorded.
Yeah, we can at least touch on it. He's a fucking idiot, and anyone that doesn't think that is a fucking idiot. I'm just gonna be blunt, but yeah, he got COVID, and he was put on all sorts of medication. He was like on like a vitamin drip, and he specifically name dropped ivermectin, which is the famous horse dewormer medication that so many people have been taking, which is apparently actually helping, but it's also actually fucking a lot of people as well. So I don't know. He said that he threw everything but the kitchen sink at it, except the fucking FDA approved vaccine. So he's an idiot, and him spending like countless dollars on treatment and like obviously beating it is only going to strengthen his idea that he like is either immune to it or that it's not a deadly virus. So, which means all of his base that also thinks that he's a genius is going to think the same exact thing.
Yeah, and that's the shit that has me the most scared. Like, he's not gonna die from it. He's relatively. I mean, he's usually in shape. I don't really follow him, but every time I fucking see him, dude, obviously takes care of himself. Yeah. So he has a better chance than fucking Joe Blow at Walmart, who is 40 pounds overweight and smokes 6 packs a day. And that's the guy that's listening to Joe Rogan. Yep. And that's the guy that's going to point at it when Rogan beats his shit. Like, see, you guys are fucking idiots. Yeah. And then continue not wearing a fucking mask. So that shit, I don't know how we deal with it. Like, this is such unprecedented times and situation where we have so much misinformation out there, and it's so easy to avoid getting the right information or ignoring the right information because you have an echo chamber wherever you want it. It's so easy to find the people that fucking already believe what you believe and get that biased confirmation. Yeah. I know this.
It's so dangerous because people are looking at like the big heads in media to like for their info instead of like, actual like scientists and shit. So like you said, the Joe Rogan shit, like his whole fan base is going to follow that. But like, I don't know what or how much more proof they need that like COVID is not fucking around. Like I saw an article today in our hometown, Steve, or not hometown, but where we live currently, about the schools going into like remote learning again. Mm-hmm. And literally every single comment were people or parents of like the kids that are in the school, like, and this is so scary because they were like, the numbers of COVID cases don't justify the kids working from home. This is a bad idea. Please don't take the kids out of school. They need in person. I didn't see a single comment of anyone combating them. Yeah. Everyone was agreeing. And like, these are people's fucking kids. Delta is dangerous. It is fucking children up left and right, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much more proof people need that COVID is real. Obviously, Joe is going to be fine with like, because he has money. It's like all the fucking VIPs and media and shit are just going to get like a cocktail of shit and be fine. But like, I don't think any of them are coming out after that saying that like, please take this seriously. Please wear a mask. Like all the ones I've seen have been like, yeah, it's no big deal. Like, yeah, I had a fucking experimental treatment done on me and I'm fine. Look at me. Yep. 2 days after, I'm good. Yep. Like, fuck you.
Surprisingly, Trump actually was holding a rally. This was probably like a couple weeks ago at this point. He was holding a rally here in Alabama, and he told the crowd to get vaccinated, and the crowd booed him. Trump's crowd booed Trump. Yep. Like, ooh. That's fucking scary. Like that's like really fucking scary whenever the monster that he's created has become too big for him to handle. So like, we're in a fucking mess, man. Like I told you guys a little bit about this privately whenever it happened. A woman that is local to me, I have mutual connections with her, but I don't know her personally. Her husband recently died of COVID. She is late 20s. He is either late 20s or early 30s. And he just died of COVID. Neither of them were vaxxed, and they all made fun of masking and shit. and they were just like hosting a vigil for her husband that again died of COVID, and she whenever she announced it, like it's at some venue, and the venue requires masking. And in her post about the vigil, she said that the venue requires masking, even though me and her husband's name do not support that. Like she just lost her husband to it. Her literal like love of her life just died of it, and she's still like literally dying on that hill. Like it is insane. There, you keep on saying what more could they have to see? There is nothing. Like there is nothing more. Like the people that are still not convinced are either just simply stupid, or they're like, I don't know. It's such a cliche thing to say, but it's just willful ignorance. Like, because I know so many people that are smart people, and they just still like believe just stupid shit.
Yeah. I mean, my willful ignorance is stupidity, because you're choosing to remain dumb.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I don't know if it's going to be a fucking, like, they're just going to die out. I don't, it's bleak and it's sad to say, but what the fuck else is going to happen? It's just, I don't get it, because this thing's going to continue to mutate. It's going to continue to get worse. And I don't know. We can just go down this road and be depressed, or is there anything else we want to say on this?
I'm good.
Fuck COVID.
Yeah. I apologize to kind of force us off of it, but we all kind of say the same thing, and we all kind of feel the same way about it. Get vaccinated, wear a fucking mask, and take this shit serious. It's not going away.
The only way we're going to beat it.
Yeah, we're never going to beat it if we don't fucking adapt and overcome it. So, fuck these idiots. Fuck people that listen to Joe Rogan. This is the dude that started off on the Man Show. Like, his fucking show was getting drunk and watching girls on a trampoline. It's nothing's changed, except he eventually made you eat horse cock because he was on Fear Factor. This guy's a joke. Don't take him serious. All right.
We would love to get your COVID takes in the comments or something like that, so we can read your bad takes on the show and roast you and show you how stupid you are.
Yeah, that sounds good. Give us some content. We're always struggling to come up with it, so that make it easy for us.
Let us make an example of you.
Speaking of roasting, I'm sorry. Did you have more to say?
Yes, but not regarding COVID. I just saw something. So Kodak Black, he was just threatened with a cease and desist for giving away free AC units in Florida.
That's fucked.
Yeah, like I'm like,
what the fuck?
I mean, not Kodak doing that, but him getting the order.
I'm looking through it right now.
Yeah.
Like he has a box truck with like what looks to be about 30 or so window unit air conditioning units, and he's just fucking giving them away to people. And I don't know, like I don't know what the fuck you could hate on about that.
He can't even give back.
Yeah.
You can't give back unless someone gets their cut of it.
Yeah, how am I gonna make money off of this? Fucking A, man.
Yeah, you're costing the county money,
God
so
damn.
you must stop.
Well, that's more depression. So I was gonna segue into the Logan Paul beggar, that dude that came up to Logan Paul looking for a handout for a job. I'm sure most of y'all have seen this, but Dimitri, you want to talk about that for a minute?
Dude, he was 100% clout chasing. They're like it's kind of like a series on his TikTok, basically, like multiple videos before he actually got there to see Logan. I don't even think he knew his name. He was calling him Jake Paul's brother to people, like hey, do you think I can meet Jake Paul's brother, like, at the fight? And he was getting like hot takes, or not hot takes, but just like answers from, like, I think he was in LA. So like he was running into all kinds of like social media people, like TikTokers and just kind of Instagram famous people. just asking like, "Hey, do you think I'll be able to talk to Logan or Jake's Paul brother at the fight?" And they're like, yeah, dude, anything's possible." Like they're just telling him what he wants to hear. But yeah, enough about that. This, bro, he's so stupid and it's very frustrating. But he quit his $100,000 a year job to go try to get a handout from Logan Paul to work for his team and like kind of be in media. And Logan Paul actually wasn't a dickhead about it. He like asked the dude genuine questions about like what his value is basically, and the dude shut down. He talked down on himself. Logan was like, "Yeah, what are you good at?" And the dude was like, "Nothing. I mean, I did that TikTok dance." And the guy was like, and Logan was like, "Oh, so you got what it takes?" And the guy was like, "No, I don't." And he was like, "Why would I hire you then?" Like, dude, how can you not hype yourself up? You quit your job for this shit. Like, if you're gonna go up there and show your ass, like, you could have at least just taken PTO. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Come on.
So,
I don't even make half of what he makes, and he's 22. His life was basically set. It was only up from there, and he just fucked it trying to get a handout.
yeah, that which makes me question whether he really did have that fucking job. He either did because someone handed it to him, so he doesn't know the fucking struggle, or he's full of shit. Either is a valuable option as far as I'm concerned. And like I shit on Logan a few episodes ago, rightfully so, with his whole fucking scammy cryptocurrency bullshit. But he came across genuine. Like he could have shit on this dude. It would have been easy. We're doing it. But he didn't. Like he genuinely seemed like he cared, and he gave honest feedback. He's like, "Dude, I can't be your mentor. I'm fucked up. I'm looking for a mentor myself. I can't be that for you." Like he like you said, he's like, "All right, what do you have? What value do you have?" And the dude fucking, I don't know how you don't come prepared. Like it was so fucking embarrassing.
Exactly.
It was bad.
Yeah, and like you said, Logan came across genuine. Like he gave actual advice at the end of it. He was like, "Get with your friends, make content with your friends, just have fun." Because like that's where like all of the media people or YouTubers basically started. Like it all starts with just having fun and like hanging out with your friends, making funny shit. That's what everyone likes to see. And like in that video where the dude was like, I guess trying to hype himself up, which he failed miserably at, he like it didn't sound like he was working towards anything. Like he gave off no, I guess, credentials basically of like all he said was, "I did that one dance on TikTok," but like what skills do you have? Like why are you cut out to work for Logan's team, like and in media in general? The guy was like, "Yeah, I want to be an actor, I want to do this and that." And then he just starts crying. Where's the work you're putting in? Like people have to grind almost their whole lives to get where he wants to be. Some people get lucky, like those are all the famous ones you see. Some of them obviously put in years of work before that, but all it takes is just one video to explode you.
Yeah.
But like the dude's TikTok account is kind of dead. Like he hasn't been out here putting in the time to just get a handout. Like, I mean, you shouldn't get a handout anyway. Like you should work for what you want. So like it kind of makes me glad to see him get shot down like that, because like if he would have gotten a handout, like I don't know, it may have inspired other people to do it, which you shouldn't try to get handouts. You should always work for what you want.
Yeah, I was about to quit my job and go see if I can get a job with Joe Rogan. Like I think he may need some help.
Catch him when he's out to lunch. Be like, "Hey, bro, got any room on your team? Y'all hire?"
Yeah, I take horse meds.
Oh yeah, you're in. Fuck it.
I'll make sure I'm not wearing a mask, and I won't let them know that I'm vaccinated.
Yeah, breathe on them hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Show him.
Hey, Joe Rogan.
Show him your show him your fucking spinning roundhouse kick, and you're definitely in. He loves that shit.
Yeah, you're right. I think I'm the same height as him, so I got that going for me too.
But yeah,
this dude that was looking for a handout, why the fuck isn't he capitalizing on it? Maybe he is. I'm not going to promote him. I haven't looked him up outside of other people's posts. So maybe this was enough clout for people to fucking give a shit about him. He could turn this into something, which is a bad precedent, like you're saying. But like this, we're talking about him. A lot of people are. So maybe he can fucking turn it into something.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with it, and he's definitely leaning into it. Like, the day after he got shot down, he had a shirt on that said, "Logan, can I have a job?" And like he's kind of making fun of himself. And bro, his comments are disgusting. Like, people are like, "Dude, get over it. Let it go. Like, you're embarrassing yourself." And he's definitely like leaning into it. He's already been on a podcast. I forget what it's called, but he's already been on a podcast talking about it. So he's getting some sort of traction from it. So I mean, him getting embarrassed may have very well turned out for the better for him, unfortunately.
Yeah. God damn it. All right. We done with him?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm done with him.
All right. So the main topic I wanted to talk about is the most anticipated games set to release in 2021. We only have a few months left, but there's a shit ton of games. We can't even definitely can't talk about all of them. There's definitely some good shit that is scheduled to be released. You know how that goes. Could get delayed a week before. Maybe it should. Cyberpunk 2077. But definitely some good games will come out. Mitri, what do you want to talk about first?
Yeah, I guess one that's coming out kind of soon is NBA 2K22. Like, yes, I'm a weeb and all I play is anime shit, but I do like to play some basketball every now and then. I don't follow NBA at all. I literally just play the game. Um, but yeah, as far as I can see, NBA 2K22 is shaping up to be much better than the previous two releases. Like, they've completely reworked, or not reworked, but they've improved dramatically the character or player builder. So there's more like options, and if you play 2K, you'll know what a pie chart is. They've added tons of pie charts, reworked hella animations. So like there's no like rubber banding, or like if someone sets a screen for you in the current 2K, it's like a fucking black hole and you just get sucked into it. There's nothing you can do. So they've reworked that. They've reworked a lot of the like shooting animations, dunking animations, dribbling animations. So it sounds like it's going to be a really good game, but we'll just have to see. I'm getting it day one. That's probably stupid because the servers are always dog shit on day one on sports games. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. That's, I guess, the closest.
Yeah, I definitely played the shit ton of the old 2Ks. I did not play much of 2K21. I think it was given away at some point because I know I didn't buy it, but I definitely played it unless I got it real cheap. But it wasn't great. Like I loved old school 2K. That shit was amazing. I love the career mode. That's always a blast. I usually don't play much else. If I play against someone online, I get my ass kicked poorly. It's just awful.
Nobody's.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody's playing it. Or like the major like big 2K people, everyone's went back to 2K20. So 2K21 is a dead game. It is shit.
Yeah. So I will. I'm sure I'll pick it up at some point. I'm definitely not going to get it day one. Maybe I'll play your copy or something. But I'm so burnt out on sports games. I ended up grabbing a GameFly trial to play Madden, and the franchise mode is a little bit improved, but I still cannot complete a pass no matter what I do. Like linebacker will somehow like magnetically intercept that shit. He close in on that ball like it's his fucking job. Well, it is his job, but it's unreal and it's frustrating as hell. I know you've been playing it, Randy. Are you experiencing that shit too?
Yeah, I've put in probably like 20 hours or so into it already. Like whenever I am having free time, like I've been playing Madden. I finally kind of chilled out. But yeah, it is better. Like it is still not good, but it is better than Madden 21. Madden 21 is probably one of the worst Maddens ever. It seems like they literally get worse every year, minus this year. But even upon launch, a bunch of the franchise shit that they added was not functioning. They did just do an update, I think yesterday, may have been yesterday, or that fixes a few of those problems, and it does make some tweaks to some of the gameplay. Like the deep zones were not working properly. They did not actually fix that, but they did mention that that's going to be in the next update. But they did fix other shit in the gameplay. As far as interceptions, I absolutely had to adjust the sliders for that. Because, dude, like, I consider myself to be above average on Madden. I won't say I'm great, but I'm definitely not bad at all. And I was throwing like 3 and 4 interceptions a game, it felt like, and it was just not fun. So I cranked down the interception slider and then left all the other ones as is, and that fixed my my problem tremendously. So now, like, a bad game, I might throw 1 or 2, but with good quarterbacks, that's what you should be expecting. Is that's a bad game if you throw 1 or 2. So, and like I've told you before, I do a lot of play the moments, which, for anyone that doesn't know, that basically will simulate all of the boring parts of the game and then put you on the field for important things like a third down conversion, a big field goal, end of the game drive to try to go win the game. So, like, you're probably playing like 5 minutes worth of the game. I don't know, like. So the simulated guys will still throw picks sometimes, but it's not that bad.
I do that as well. Depending, sometimes I'll just play offense and I'll simulate the first quarter or something.
Yeah.
But that I do that. But it's just so frustrating. I guess it's not a big deal to adjust it yourself and tweak it to your liking. But why the fuck is a 72 ranked linebacker closing in on the ball at a tremendous speed? It just fix that shit.
Yeah, it's fucking dreadful, dude. Like, I'm so thankful that the sliders are even a thing that you can mess with, because if they weren't, I literally would not play Madden. Because it depends on what I'm doing, but I'll typically play on either All Madden or All Pro, depending on what it is that I'm doing. And on both of those difficulties, which are the 2 highest, that's where the fucking interceptions are prevalent. If you go anything lower than that, you're going to be throwing like 10 touchdowns a game. And, like, I know some people think that that's fun, but that's not fun at all to me. So,
Same.
I'm okay with throwing picks. Like, I'm not mad about that. It's just like you said, like, there's no reason that the 7th string corner should be picking you off 3 times a game, and especially the fucking linebackers. So yeah, if you do want to get back on it, definitely crank those down, and I mean way down. They start off at 50, and you don't even notice a difference until you knock that shit down to like 10 or 15. So crank that shit way down, and you'll have a much better time with it.
I figured I wanted to test it out because I'm kind of craving some football right now, so I picked it up on GameFly. Once they the changes they're talking about and promising for franchise mode, because that's the only mode I play, once that's out there, I'll probably pick it up because I'm a sucker and I always do. But it does. There's definitely some aspects, like the franchise has been changed and it is better. It's the gameplay that's frustrating the hell out of me, and the stuff that they're talking about with scouting improvements. That's what I'm excited about. So I'll pick it up.
I'll tell you the most frustrating thing about it. So, like you said, the scouting is not even in the game yet. I mean, there is scouting, but it's the same scouting that they've used for like 5 years now. I am very excited for the new scouting, which apparently is coming this month. Whether or not they're actually going to stick to that, we don't know. But one of the biggest additions to franchise mode this year, which I was incredibly excited about, is the offensive and defensive coordinators were finally re-added, because that was a common thing in the PS2 era, and they're finally back. But it is the most bullshit system. So, like, in real life, one of the most exciting things about football to me is the fucking staff changes. Like, oh, this offensive coordinator, he's really been lighting the fucking league on fire for the past 2 or 3 years. Like, he's gonna get a head coaching job soon. Well, the coordinators can't get head coaching jobs. Like, I think you can promote a coordinator to head coach, but teams don't do that. So, like, for example, I already restarted this franchise because it was instantly not fun. I won the Super Bowl 3 times in a row, which is fucking not fun. But my coordinator that was with me for the first 2 years, I did not re-sign him. I wanted to switch it up, so I signed a new coordinator. And then that guy, who in real life would definitely be getting a head coaching job, he just fucking signed as a coordinator again. Like, that's what they all do. Like, there's no promotions in the league. And there's no stat tracking for the staff either. There's a half-baked coach stats screen that you probably know what I'm talking about, but there's no stats for coordinators.
Yes,
There's
yes.
no history for the coordinators. There's no history for the head coaches, which is like, why wouldn't you just add that? You can't edit the coaches, which they don't use the real life coordinators, and you can't even edit them if you wanted them to be the real life coordinators. You can't edit the head coaches. So it's like they're so close to having a fun experience, and they're just like leaving out the simplest of things that make it 10 times deeper.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. I know we talked about it before, but if they just would focus on every other year and take 2 years and maybe have like a $10 or $20 upgrade for the next year, you can make that one game fucking awesome, and you can have someone working on the game that's coming out in 2 years. But they're just recycling the game because A, we all fucking buy it, and B, there's only so much they can do when they're constantly working on the next fucking game.
Yeah, that's been my dream since probably like middle school. Like, it sounds like it would be a relatively easy task and it would make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, like you said, as long as we're all buying it, that will literally never happen. They could fucking treat it like GTA 5. Like, it's been played for nearly a decade now. They don't have to go that far with it. But yeah, 2, even 3 years. Because literally, as far as gameplay is concerned, it minus next gen, it hasn't really been touched in a few years. Like, there's tweaks here and there. I'm not going to say that it's the literal exact same, but just do those tweaks with updates. You know what I mean? So they could absolutely do that, and that's my dream. But you and I both know that we'll literally never get that.
Nope. So we took over NBA to talk about Madden, but Mitri, do you want to throw out another one?
Sure. Let's see what we got. Okay. So the Persona Anniversary, this isn't really a game, but it could be a game, and I'm definitely excited about it. The Persona Anniversary event kind of kicked off September 1st. So we don't know anything yet, so we could be getting anything about a new game or project any day now. So, yeah, that's what I'm excited for, just anything that they could announce, because we're definitely getting a new Persona project before this year is over. So, yeah, that's what I'm excited for. Don't know what the fuck I'm excited for other than a Persona game. but but yeah, that's what I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm checking their website like every hour almost just to see if I can catch something as soon as it drops. So
Yeah.
yep, that's probably about it.
I mean, literally, it doesn't matter what the fuck they put out. They're gonna sell it. You're gonna buy it. So that's
Absolutely.
it's good for them. So one thing I'm excited about is Back for Blood, which they just had. Well, it's been about a month now. They had the beta in early August, and I jumped on that. That shit was fun. For those that don't know, it's the spiritual successor to the Left 4 Dead franchise, which was a lot of fun. It's a multiplayer online asymmetrical game, so it's usually 4 survivors trying to fucking take on all the zombies. I know in the Legacy Left 4 Dead you can play as a zombie. I did not get that in the beta. Do you know if that's going to be in the Back for Blood?
Yeah, they actually had it in the beta
I
that
didn't
I
see it.
played. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, I'm not sure which one you played, but they definitely had a zombie mode. It's not the same at all as it was in Left 4 Dead. Like, it's kind of like a horde, like defense kind of thing. Like, you pick your zombie type and you can upgrade the zombie with like speed, defense, strength, shit like that. And as a survivor, you just kind of set up defenses, upgrade your weapons. I believe you can use your like skill cards, or what do
Mhm.
they call them in there, like your packs or whatever. You can use those, but as a zombie, you can do basically the same thing. So the map that I played on was really fucking tiny. I'm not sure if they're gonna expand that to like the full versus like it was in Left 4 Dead, which was just the same campaign,
Yeah,
but like as the special infected spawned, you just played as them. So I would love to see that come back. Not not too hype about the like horde survival thing.
yeah. It definitely looks like a lot of fun. Something we should definitely stream when that comes out. That shit is great. Yeah.
I'm fully down.
Do you y'all either one of you got a game you want to throw out there?
Yeah, I can throw out another one. Tales of Arise. It's coming out really soon. They just released a demo for it recently. Um, it's I don't know what it's going to be about yet. I just got into Tales of Arise this or the Tales of series this year. I started with Tales of Berseria. It was really good, really fun. The combat system in that game is fucking insane. Like each button corresponds with an attack you can do, but you can chain them. So like you can press X twice, and for the first button press, you do one move. For the second button press, you do another one. And I think it's like six or so that you can like put on one button. So like the combos are fucking insane that you can do. So I love the combat in them. And then I also tried to play Tales of Zestiria, which hit Game Pass recently. It's the one that came before Berseria, so I just kind of want to catch up on what I can before Arise comes out. It looks really fucking good, so I'm really hyped for that to come out soon.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't played any of those. Those are JRPGs, I assume.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Maybe I'll check those out. I'm going deep on Yakuza, which is why I'm hyped about Lost Judgment. I picked up Judgment a few weeks ago. That's the one I'm gonna play next when I'm done with Like a Dragon. Looks fucking good. I love the gameplay. I love the presentation. You and I were talking about how you can be playing for 45 minutes and then have like a 15-minute, 20-minute cutscene. It's like, all right, cool. I can sit back and not have to fuck
Grab a
with the game.
snack.
Yeah. So I love that shit. And the storyline sometimes can be cheesy as fuck, but it works somehow. I don't know how to explain it, but it definitely will have some corny ass jokes or real cheesy melodramatic bullshit. Not as bad as Final Fantasy by any stretch, but it can be fucking. It can be interesting. But it works for me. I recommend anyone to pick those up, and I'm definitely hyped to play Lost Judgment because it's essentially the same kind of storyline, kind of presentation, but it's a spin off. So that comes out in a few weeks. I just pre-ordered it yesterday, so I'm ready for that shit.
Yeah, let me know how you like it, because I mean I like Yakuza, so I may pick that up. I just don't know anything about it, and I don't want to look too deep into it because I don't want to get like spoiled for anything. Because I tend to just like black out games that I'm excited for.
Yeah, honestly, same. And I don't know a whole lot about Judgment, other than it's similar gameplay and it's a spin-off. So yeah, I'm with you because it's so easy to get shit spoiled, and I get so upset with that shit. So I will definitely let you know. And well, I was gonna say I can let you borrow, but I don't think you don't have a PlayStation 5, right?
Unfortunately, not.
Uh,
Cannot find one.
You're not missing much yet. I'm glad I have it, but it's just like the Series X. Like you guys, on the Series X, Series S, you have the Game Pass, which is fucking awesome and gives you this instant library. But I have all my PlayStation 4 games that I have back catalog there, so I'm doing all right.
Do you?
Oh,
Sorry, go
speaking of, my bad. Speaking of play, this is like, I guess I could have put this at the very beginning of the show on like the what we're geeking out on thing, but you talked about PlayStation and it kind of jogged the memory. Horizon Zero Dawn, the main character from that just got put into Genshin as a as a PlayStation exclusive character for a month.
No shit.
So I get her on the next update. That's when like the exclusivity ends. But yeah, dude, that's fucking insane how that character is in Genshin Impact, like fully like anime art style. She even has her own special weapons. But like the way it works in Genshin, like weapons have special abilities, and that ability only works for that weapon on PlayStation. So when she comes out on PC, you'll still get the weapon, but you won't get any special ability with it. So it's going to be dog shit. So that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. I know they have a sequel coming out early next year, so I'm sure that's not a coincidence. Get that shit out there.
Full promotion.
I'm good with it.
But yeah, Randy, what were you about to say? Didn't mean to cut you off.
I was gonna ask Steve, do you fuck with PlayStation now?
Yeah, they had a really deep discount. It was like a year for $25.
Wow.
I jumped on that shit. Yeah. So it's not bad. It's not as good as Game Pass, obviously, but it's definitely got some good games that I grabbed and been fucking with. Not a great library, but not bad. They really need to step it up. I don't know. I would love to see them get what's it, Ubisoft Plus now they call it. Get something like that. If they can get a deal with a major developer, a major publisher, that would help a lot. It's just not. It can't compete with Game Pass.
Like a year ago or so, I got it for my PS4, and I liked it a lot. Like, yeah, the library, like you said, is not nearly as robust as Game Pass. But I actually primarily got it to play Red Dead 1 again because it was on there. I don't know if it still is, but I love the idea of streaming games. Like, there's obvious limitations, but whenever I'm just, wanting to play Red Dead 1, like that's perfect. Like that's like the ideal situation. You wouldn't want to like play a competitive game through streaming just because of the latency involved. But I'm sure you probably know that Project xCloud is still a thing. It's moved forward, and it's Xbox's version of cloud gaming. But as cool as it is, you can't do it on a console, like, which kind of blows my mind. Like, you can do it on iOS devices now, laptops, computers, just basically everything except for an Xbox. So I really wish that was on Xbox. I would only assume that it will be in the future, but it is so cool. Like, I bring my iPad with me almost everywhere I go, and on a few occasions I have played the xCloud on my iPad. I'll just take like a spare Xbox controller with me, and it just syncs up with Bluetooth on the iPad, and it's awesome. Like, it's really good as long as you've got decent internet. So like whenever I'm like in town, my LTE on my iPad is plenty fast, but it's a really cool service.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's not on console yet. That's if they bring that out, man, it's game over. I don't. PlayStation has to step it up, man.
For sure, Randy. I have to ask, because I've heard of xCloud, but I haven't really like followed it. Do you get to play your library of games, or is there like a specific xCloud library that you can play for right now?
From when I was toying with it, I've played with it probably under 10 times. it looks as though you get like the whole Game Pass library. I didn't dive insanely
Yeah,
deep into
for
it, but
sure.
I think that's safe to say. If not the entire library, then certainly most of it. There are a few games that they actually promote on the front page of it that you can use touch controls, so you don't even have to have a controller. Which, I mean, I don't know why you'd prefer to use touch controls, but I'm sure that it works fine on some games. But yeah, it's awesome, dude. Like, definitely give it a try. I mean, you literally, it's free. Like, if you're paying for Game Pass Ultimate, then you already get to experience it. So, like, next time that you get a chance, just like pop your iPad out and just fucking try it out.
Hell yeah, definitely gonna do that.
Oh yeah. So whose turn is it?
I think. Well, I guess Randy just went. I guess it's back to you.
Um, yeah. So the next game I'm definitely looking forward to is, and I might get some heat for this. Far Cry 6. I know those games kind of are the same game over and over again. They tried to change it up with Far Cry 5 because it's not on a tropical island. It was in like Minnesota, I think, or Michigan. No, it was Montana. One of those M states. It was definitely Montana. And it was like a cult, a religious cult. It was a really interesting concept. I did not finish that one, but they're going back to a tropical island. They're going back to the roots, if you will, and I'm gonna fucking buy it day one. I like those games. They are a lot of fun. They can be repetitive, but they work for me. So Far Cry 6 is the
Yes.
I'm definitely looking for that.
Yeah, Far Cry is at its best when it's on a deserted, or not deserted, but just some sort of island. Like, it's Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4 were like some of my best gaming when I first started playing like single player shits. Like, they're like, it's just so good. Like, the islands are full of animals, full of like settlements you can capture, like side missions out the ass, like
Yeah.
random like I remember in Far Cry 3 there's like a pill you can take or some plant or something, like, and you go on like a full fucking like shrooms trip experience. Like, that shit is insane. It's I love when Far Cry goes into shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, I like I said before, and we both said like try to avoid the spoilers, try to avoid looking too much into it. But the teasers that they dropped, man, it's looking good, man. And what's that guy's name? Was it Giancarlo Esposito, the dude
Breaking
from
Bad. Yeah.
Breaking Bad, and yeah, a shit ton of other stuff. That dude is always good, and I'm assuming he's the main villain. It's kind of a gray area. I don't know what the hell is going on because again, I haven't looked that far into it. But he plays villain really well, so I'm looking forward to this shit. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, and I saw like obviously I was watching like the trailers for like Far Cry 6, and I'm pretty sure they said like you are Voss, which was the Far Cry 3 like main villain. He was, I think he's like the best villain in Far Cry yet. I never
Yes.
played like Far Cry 5 or anything, but like I fucking loved Voss. Like, he was the funniest motherfucker in Far Cry 3. Like, absolutely loved him. So like if they're bringing him back, dude, I'm in.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. Far Cry 4 villain was definitely interesting, but Far Cry 3, hell yeah, fuck yeah. Far Cry 5 was he essentially thought he was a god. That's how he presented himself. He was the leader of the cult, and he was good as well, but it's a bit cliche, a bit kind of done to death. So I, I I'm gonna give it a chance. I want to see what it does, what they do, going back to the roots, and I'm gonna buy that shit.
Hell yeah, same. Who knows? Might hit Game Pass day one. They love doing that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my Series S back. I don't know which kid has it right now, but
Liberate it from your children.
yeah.
All right,
what you
I
got?
guess I'm up next. Yeah, so I I would say Shin Megami Tensei 5, but I just talked about fucking Persona. They're basically the same thing. But next I will talk about the Demon Slayer fighting game. Insanely hyped for it. I haven't played a fighting game since Dragon Ball Fighters, which was also good. But like that's kind of where I don't know. I've always been secretly, or not secretly, I just don't play with any of you guys. But my friend group knows that I'm like good at fighting games. Anime fighters are a little different. Like they're much more, I don't want to say mechanically intense, but they definitely have a lot more going on than like say Mortal Kombat or Injustice. So I'm still kind of learning the anime fighters, but I'm insanely hyped to play Demon Slayer. The anime is good, the movie's good, the characters are awesome, the abilities and shit. I'm long overdue for a fighting game session, so really hyped for this.
Yeah, I think you and I we played Injustice together. We played a couple fighting games, and yeah, you're good. I'll give you that.
I mean, the times that I played you, I was rusty as hell, so
Uh,
we were probably about equal.
all right. Are you coming over tomorrow? We'll play something. We'll play some Injustice too, maybe.
All right.
So Demon Slayer, I know a little bit about. I think I added that shit to Plex for you or someone, and it looks interesting. I have not watched it, but I appreciate the concept. The art is fucking cool as hell. Maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, if I would say if you start with anime, that one would be a decent one to catch up on. It's not terribly long. I think it's like 12 episodes or so, maybe a little longer. But yeah, it's you could finish it in a couple hours.
Okay, cool. So I got one more I want to talk about, and that's the Monster Rancher 1 and 2 remake. I fucking loved these games when they first came out. I had them on PlayStation 1, and it's essentially what it sounds like Monster Rancher. You raise and breed fighting monsters, and you join tournaments and try to, be the best. Obviously, there's a lot of crossover, or a lot of people think it's similar to Pokemon. I really don't think it is. It's a little more static. You're not like traveling. You're going to your ranch and then you're going to the tournament. And the cool thing about that game, the original one, is when you're breeding your monsters, you can put in any music CD, and depending on the CD, you'd get a different monster. I don't think there was any logic to it. I really think it was random, but it felt fucking cool as hell. And at that time, I was geeking out hard on CDs. I probably had legitimately 400 CDs. So that was a big thing. Is all right. What's this one gonna give me? What's this one gonna give me? And then I found like after a while, I was just getting the same fucking monster over and over again. And that was frustrating. Um, but
Yeah,
I definitely am excited. I want to get on this shit as soon as it comes out.
yeah. Is it? It's called Monster Rancher. It kind of made me think of the new Monster Hunter game that they came out with. It's called Monster Hunter Stories.
Hmm.
It was on DS, but they just released one for the Switch. I think it may be on PC too, or I may just be stupid. Um, I've heard a lot of people say that it's the better Pokemon because it's the same concept. In normal Monster Hunters, you fight the monsters, and like you don't get to like capture them or anything. You just like kill them and then take their materials. But in Monster Hunter Stories, like this one, you're friends with the monsters. Like that's what your team is based on. It's turn-based combat. It's like abilities, weaknesses, shit like that. So I don't
Yeah,
know if it's anything like that. It may be worth the pickup if you're into like Pokemon esque games.
yeah. I do like Pokemon games. I haven't played one in a minute, but I would recommend it. I'm hoping, like, the graphics obviously on PlayStation 1 were not great, so I'm curious to see. I think it's only coming to Switch and Steam, so I'll get it for PC most likely. I doubt it's gonna end up. Maybe if it's a big seller, we'll see it on Xbox or PlayStation. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's can be a little repetitive if I remember correctly, but it's a unique idea. Obviously, it's kind of been done with what you're talking about, Monster Hunter stories. I have to check that shit out. But yeah, for the nostalgia, I will be buying Monster Rancher 1 and 2 day one. So I that's it I had for games. Did you have any more you want to talk about?
Yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and mention Shin Megami Tensei 5 since I have it here. Yeah, game comes out really soon. I don't I like me and C were saying earlier, we kind of black out the games that we're excited for, and that's what I've been doing with this one. So I don't know too much about it. I just like watch some of the trailers, but if they go into like explaining gameplay or anything, I just kind of leave. I don't
Yeah.
want to see that. I want to be surprised. So if it's anything like Persona, like as far as like battle system and shit goes, I would be really excited. The Persona about or the I guess Shin Megami Tensei, since Persona is the spinoff of that. If the battle system is anything like it is in the recent Personas, that would be really great because the OG Shin Megami Tensei's the battle systems were really fucking punishing. Like if you weren't prepared, if you came out there with one teammate that's like had a weakness to the monster you were fighting, you're fucking dead. Like you have to restart and recalibrate your team. And so if they've adapted that and making it like the Persona ones instead of like the Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne battle system, that's the I guess the only one I can compare it to because I've been playing it recently. If it's if they've adapted it, like I keep saying, it'll be insane. But I don't know because I'm not watching. I don't want to know about it. I just want to be surprised by it. But the concept of it looks fucking great. The main character looks dope as fuck. The art style is, I mean, it's the Shin Megami Tensei art style is a little different from the Persona, just like a smidge. Like the character design is just a little different. Um, but yeah. Oh, I also wonder if the overworld is going to be any different. I don't know if um like Shin Megami Tensei is any like as close to Persona because like I said I've only played Nocturne from the Shin Megami Tensei shits, and in the overworld on that one it's kind of like I don't know, it kind of just looks like Google Maps kind of like like you can see buildings, you can see roads and shit, and you're just a little icon that you just move around with. And like there's random encounters when you're doing that, so like take a few steps, you're in a battle kind of thing. So I wonder if it's going to be like that or if they're going to adapt it into like the JRPG type of style of Persona where you're like walking through Japan and shit like that. But I don't know. I don't want to see it. If they're doing it and you know that, great. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. But yeah, it'd be great to see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I bought one of those games. I still haven't fucking played a single one, so I apologize. I need to get up on that, but fucking there's only so many.
You have Nocturne,
I do.
the remastered Nocturne. You
Yeah.
should play it. You'll get very frustrated, but it's decent.
I went as far as installing it. That's about it.
Yeah, dude, that game is holy shit. It's one of the most difficult games I've ever played. Like it's just old. Like the mechanics and like the design of it is really fucking old. Like there's not a lot of save points. There's no quick saves. So if you cuz in this game like in Nocturne, you'll go through like a 5 phase boss battle that takes you like an hour, and if you die, you have to go all the way fucking back. Like there's no checkpoint in the battle. You're just fucked. So, like, say you're exploring a dungeon as well for like an hour and you don't come across a save point and you fuck up in a battle by accident, use the wrong team member, don't use an item at the right time to heal yourself or whatever, and you just like get one shotted by a surprise random fucking boss encounter, you're fucked. You're dead. So,
Dude,
That's
what's the
just
point of
be
that?
prepared.
Like, all that's gonna do is fucking frustrate me. Like, it costs you nothing. Just add a quick save, please. Like, I don't have
Yep.
time for this shit. Sometimes I have to jump off a game unexpectedly. Just
Yep.
give me
Or
the fucking
luckily,
save.
this game, yeah, the remastered version does have kind of like a like emulator style save state that you
Okay.
can continue from. So that's pretty cool. There's also or not also, but it's kind of I don't know. This is kind of turning into like a Nocturne review, Nocturne remastered review. But like obviously the Atlas games have great music, and Nocturne is old. I think that shit came out in like what 2003, 2006, or some shit like that. So it's a really old game, and the audio is so shit for like the battle music. It's like compressed as fuck. Like it sounds like you're listening to it through like a fucking Pringles can. Like people have already made mods for it to like freshen it up. So if you want to enjoy it in its like best form, I would say look into that mod for sure.
All right, I'll check
Because
that
the
out.
music is so good to like for it to sound like shit. So
That's such a shame, and it did come out in 2003. Like,
damn.
why the hell not just fucking make it? Just optimize that shit. Like it. What was remastered? God damn it! Give me. All right.
Yeah, since I did play the OG Nocturne on a emulator, and it's the remastered has come a long fucking way as far as visuals go.
Mhm.
Like when I was playing the OG, like it was just blurry. Like it just didn't look good. Like there was like tracing of like you would move, and you'd see like your fucking shadow chasing you. Like it's weird. So it's sharpened up a ton, so it looks really good.
All right. All right. I'll give it credit then. I'll stop shitting on it.
Sounds good.
I don't have any more games to talk about. I think there's just so many more coming out. We didn't mention Mario Party Superstars, Metroid Dread. They're doing a Diablo 2 Resurrected, so a remake of Diablo 2, GTA 5 for the next gen. So gonna fucking keep milking that fucking cow until it stops spitting out money.
Yep. And you also got the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes,
Mhm.
fucking Super Monkey Ball, which also has a Persona crossover now.
Nice. You got a lot of Persona
Mona
talking.
from Persona 5 is now in Super Monkey Ball, so that's pretty sweet.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's good, man. It's late where we are. We wanted to get an episode out because it's been way too fucking long. But I think we can call it. This has been a fun conversation. We love talking about video games. If there's anything you want us to talk about that we haven't, please let us know. We'll get this out on all the platforms ASAP. But thank you all, and please rate and review us on Apple. Tell your friends about us. We really like doing this. Thank you.
Adios.